What's going on, guys? So I am still here in Grand Rapids, and what you probably didn't know is that I drove my own truck up here. That's why I'm in the passenger seat of my truck. Actually, I'm kidding. You know, somebody that you saw on my channel a while back, and you may have actually subscribed to my channel because of his channel, but he's actually a really good friend of mine. He lives in Detroit, Michigan, and that's Brian. Last name, Lawn Maintenance.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
This is a cool dude, and he drove all the way up from Detroit to Grand Rapids so we could look at some RVs together. So we're going to go grab a bite to eat at this restaurant he's never heard of before. It's called Chick-fil-A. I told him about it, and I said they make pretty good chicken, and he's like, man, we got to try it, man. I've never had it before. You know, apparently it's something that hasn't made its way over to Detroit yet.
It has not. I'm a big chicken nuggets and french fry kind of guy, asked my wife. And so anytime I get to go out of town and there's a Chick-fil-A nearby, you can go to an Outback, you can go to a nice steakhouse. No, we're going to go to Chick-fil-A. So I'm driving, I'm choosing Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I said Chick-fil-A is a recommendation and kind of a joke, and then he's like, nope, we're going there. He goes, that's where we're going. Anyway, so we're going to grab a quick bite to eat for lunch. We've actually been out at a dealership here filming for a while. And I'm going to actually talk to him about some RVs that they may be interested in. I did not know, but you guys have been shopping for an RV for a while.
We are, man. We're next year or two, if not sooner, we want to pull the trigger on one. And thank God you are like the best resource to figure this all out. And yeah, honestly, whether it's a camper style one or maybe even a toy hauler in the next 12, 18, 24 months, it's something that my wife and I have been really considering. So I'm really excited about seeing what you can weigh in on and help me out because you are the expert and I cut grass. So that'll be really, really good. So I'm really excited about it.
So I came up to Michigan to help him with RVs, and he's going to come down to South Texas to cut grass. And I just want to see how the humidity difference affects him.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be making it down to...
That's what I'll be calling if you're down in South Texas mowing grass.
Like it's 100 plus degrees down there. Yeah, I don't know.
In the shade.
I need the 4 seasons here in Michigan, so I'm gonna just hang tight up here.
Yeah, you get 2 down there, hot and much hotter.
There you go.
So, but anyways, guys, we're gonna grab something to eat, and then when we get back to the dealership, we are gonna walk through some RVs that might fit Brian's needs. And more importantly than anything, I'm going to try to answer some of those questions that typical, newbies to RVs are generally going to ask. Questions about why they did it this way or why they did it that way, or should I replace these tires? Different things like that. So hopefully I'll be able to help him out. And I think his wife will probably want to kill me because he's going to tow one home today.
As long as I don't spend $25,000 right now, we're in good shape. I told the wife. She actually texted me. She said, do it. You won't. So if you know my wife, that's how she works.
Is that permission? Did you get $24,999 worth of permission right now?
I think we're pre-approved. Everybody in the comment section is going to say buy it. If your wife texts you, you have $25,000 budget, but you can go buy an RV, leave me a comment down below.
Heck yeah. Exactly. All right, guys. We'll see you back at the dealership. All right, guys, so we are back here in the warehouse with my good friend Brian. Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Quick plug.
Let's go shopping, baby.
All right, so he and his wife are looking for an RV.
Right, so long story short, where we live in Michigan, when you're from Michigan, you got to do the whole hand thing. So we live in Detroit Metro, and what you do in Michigan is you go up north. It's called camping up north, right? So people have lake homes and go camping and RVing, of course. And so it's just my wife and I. I'm 33. She's way less as old as I am, which is awesome. I'm not going to repeat how old she is. But we're looking for our first camper in the next 12, 18, 24 months. In fact, like I said earlier, she said, just go buy one. And I'm like, not yet. Calm down. Be patient. So if you guys are first-time buyers or you guys are noobs, I totally am. I've been watching a lot of JD's videos, just a lot of other videos on YouTube about campers. And we're kind of in this point where we want a good travel camper that we could spend 3 or 4 days in, make a long weekend out of it, go 5, 6, 7 times a year. And outside of that, maybe even a toy hauler eventually. And I told JD, I'm open to suggestions and ideas because I don't want to get pigeonholed into something that I might outgrow in a year or two, especially if we start having kids in the next 12, 18 months, which is something that we're going to want to do. So I'm flexible. I'm open to ideas, suggestions. Got a good resource, good host here. So you let me know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll find out.
With RVs, the saying buy once, cry once is absolutely true. Probably truer than ever.
Buy one,
because you have to understand these things lose their value like vehicles do.
Sure. And it's understandable.
So the first RV that I wanted to go ahead and show Brian is going to be a toy hauler, but it's a travel trailer toy hauler, mainly because he has an F-250 with the gas engine.
Correct.
And that's going to limit his overall towing capacity from a fifth wheel gooseneck perspective. However, he is going to have extra hitch capacity because he opted for the gas engine.
Sure.
So you actually have the ability to support a heavier pin weight than most diesel equipped trucks, and that's going to help you out.
Well, one thing I was going to suggest or add is that in the next 3 or 4 years, I'm also not opposed to upgrading the truck. So we have a 250 gas. I'm not opposed to a 250 or a 350 diesel option. So I'd probably stick with a single rear wheel, not a dually, of course, for the landscaping company. So we run a long landscape company, obviously, and I need that truck to pull the trailers, but we could always use it to pull a nice camper or an RV. So something I'm looking at. So that's always an asterisk. That could change.
Well, there are a couple things you want to look at anytime you're looking at any of these. And the first thing is the sticker here on the side.
Okay.
So this sticker is going to be on the side of every RV, whether it's a motorhome or whether it's a pullable. This sticker is going to give you a lot of pertinent information that you want to be aware of. One of the first things you want to zone in on is this number right here, and that's going to be your GVWR, your gross vehicle weight rating. This trailer, fully loaded with all of its cargo, all of the toys you throw in it, everything, should not exceed a total weight of 7,800 pounds.
Okay.
Of that 7,800 pounds, your cargo capacity is going to be 2,396 pounds.
Okay.
Which means that outside of this, or this is going to be your loaded weight, your dry weight on this specific trailer is going to be closer to about 5,500 pounds.
Okay. Very similar with our landscape equipment.
Exactly.
Dry weight versus being loaded up.
Yep.
Okay.
So when everything's said and done in here, if you're looking at getting like a Polaris or some other type of toy that you might throw in the back, you just have to make sure that you have the payload capacity here to be able to support it without going over your gross vehicle weight rating.
So if we have a 5,400 pound dry weight, we could add a Polaris Razor. Let's just say it's 1,000 pounds. And so that could fit into a setup like this.
Correct.
But that also includes like all the extra stuff that we store in the camper, right? So clothes or dishes and all the other mess, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the other thing to keep in mind is when you look at this gross vehicle weight rating of 7,800 pounds, roughly 10 to 15% of that is usually transferred to the back of your truck or the tongue of the specific trailer.
Okay.
So you're going to have between 780 and about 850 pounds worth of weight resting on the back of your truck.
Okay.
That being said, this is a toy hauler. So once you put a 1,000-pound toy in the back, you also have to know where it is in conjunction to your axles, because any weight that rests behind your axle is removed from the bed of your truck.
Okay, sure.
So if you have a 1,000-pound Polaris in the back here and you have it right up against the back, then the tongue weight on the vehicle is probably likely to be 300 or 400 pounds. You're going to lose a lot of weight and very possibly remove weight off of the back of your truck, which could create kind of a dangerous towing situation.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the main thing you want to keep in mind when you're looking at toy haulers, especially a travel trailer style toy hauler, simply because the leverage point when it's connected to the tongue of your truck is different than when it's connected over the back axle of a truck, as in a fifth wheel or gooseneck.
Okay.
All right, so this specific toy hauler is, again, travel trailer toy hauler. Let's take a look at the number on the side here. This is the 19 HFS, and I don't really know what the HFS stands for. It usually stands for something.
Sure.
But on this specific unit, 19 generally, not all the time, but generally means the box length of the actual trailer.
So not the toy hauler part in the back or something up front?
So it generally is not going to include the A-frame of the trailer.
Okay.
So the part in front. But in a trailer like this, I'm guessing the body on this one's going to be closer to probably 21 feet, and you're probably looking at a total length of about 24 feet.
That's where I personally want to say is like 20 to 30 feet, because the trailers I do use, right now I have an 8.5 by 16 enclosed trailer. So I'm not like unfamiliar with having a large sail of a camper or a trailer in the back. So I'm really comfortable with that, backing them up. But I don't want to get too big too quick, right? I don't want to pull some 40, 50-foot thing down the road. So in that 20 to 30-foot range is kind of what we were thinking. So,
you know, the other thing to keep in mind, though, is when you go to a toy hauler, it's really going to change the interior layout. So let's walk inside.
Sure.
So you have to keep in mind, once you get a garage in the back, the entire back has to be able to suit whatever you're going to drive up in. Sure. So very, very common with toy haulers are these side bench seats that fold up to the wall and a table that can be moved out of the way. That's why this table doesn't plug into the ground or anything. It's simply a freestanding table that you can move, or a modular table. This is also a bunk, and it's on these mechanical tracks to where you can lower or raise the bunk from a control, which simply lets you lower it and sleep more people. So if you bring friends, family, whatever, you can sleep a lot of people in here for its size.
Okay.
When this is folded down, this turns into a bed. This turns into a bed, and of course you have your bed at the front.
Okay.
So this would probably be you and your wife's bed.
Sure.
Whereas this area back here is likely going to be for guests.
Well, where do we put the dog? In the main bed.
In the main bed. Or you lower the bunk right here and you put the dog underneath it.
There you go. Fair
so
enough.
You got a lot of options, which is nice about toy haulers.
Sure.
But as you can see, the interior doesn't necessarily have what I would say a real comfortable home-style living space.
Sure.
It's very much tailored around a toy hauler.
Right.
So if you get into a toy hauler, just keep that in mind. You're still going to have a nice dual basin sink. You're going to have a dual burner cooktop with microwave, cabinetry, all the things that you would expect.
Sure.
But then you have this garage area back here.
Right, and that's what I've noticed is like it seems like you sacrifice a lot of the living amenities for the ability to transport that toy.
Absolutely.
Right? Whether it's a four-wheeler or a player side-by-side, right?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what it is. And a lot of times these travel trailer style toy haulers are essentially kind of like a fifth wheel large toy hauler cut in half.
Sure, that's what it that's why I was kind of evaluating even the fifth wheel idea, maybe long term, is because it seems like you kind of want to have the best of both worlds. You might have to go that route.
Yeah, it's kind of true. However, keep in mind that even fifth wheels are going to kind of suffer from a little bit of a more functionality-based interior versus a comfortable living space. But I do want to show you a large fifth wheel that has actually nailed it in terms of the interior, in my opinion.
I'm all for it. Let's go check it out.
Perfect. So we're going to take a look at another toy hauler, which I really think Brian's going to like, because it will give him the room he probably needs. However, he probably isn't going to want to hear what type of truck he's going to need to pull it. So, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to Brian's Lawn Maintenance. He has an awesome channel as well. And guys, huge shout out to the folks here at TerryTownRv. They've been absolutely great, and I love coming through this facility just to view all the great RVs that they have. We'll talk to you again soon.